How old are you when you first noticed graffiti on the street?
I had to be about 13.
And what were your thoughts about it there? Do you ask your parents why are they writing on the wall?
Oh, no. It's, it's just, again, to me, it was just an activity. Some people that were my friends were into BMX. Some of my friends were cholos. Some of my friends were, all kinds of other things, I even had some friends that were in the Boy Scouts, but I was into, riding waves. That's what I was into, so I remember when I'm like 13, 14, taking the bus to the beach, and that was my getaway, riding waves, watching the sunset. When I was 15, I remember walking up to the school. It was Uni High, and I'm walking up from Santa Monica and Westgate, and it's this big ass school. I'm just walking up, and I'm seeing like people doing pieces and stuff. I'm like, whoa, I remember this stuff. I was already writing graffiti. I even started my own crew with like 5 to 7 different writers, but they were all me. So we were called the Mischief Bombers, and I just wrote all kinds of stuff. But I didn't think I was a writer. I just thought I was just, scrawling on stuff and passing time.
Do you remember some of the early names you saw on the street? Can you mention a few?
Yeah, at the beach, I started writing graffiti, and I was pretty good on a boogie board, and so I called myself the Shredder. I'd write the Shredder. And one of my good friends, the way he rode his board, he kind of like snapped his board, so I call him the Snapper. And he later became Snap from UTI, who started Skill from UTI. Well, Snap and Skill started UTI, so that's how they got their start. But we were writing, I had a friend, his name was Flex, because he used to flex, the way it was all about how you rode the waves, I would shred a wave, Ron would snap, Bob would flex, so we had all types of different names.
You're also known for the name Ink, Page, and Doer.
Yeah.
How long do those 3 names last?
Yeah, they were all Mischief Bombers, so Page 1, I thought that sounded pretty cool, Ink, and I stopped writing Ink when I took the bus to Hollywood and I saw Ink and Silver. I'm like, oh, I better stop writing Ink because there's a real graffiti writer writing Ink, and Ink and Silver, they were up. Alski was up. I saw Frost and Demo from CBS. I didn't know they were from CBS. I just saw their name, Frost and Demo. I remember News from KSW. Yeah, KSW. No. Yeah, it was KSW. It was Alski, News, Day. And that's when I noticed, these Alski, all these guys were, writing graffiti. And then I saw Soon. And Soon was that's real graffiti, and I didn't know he was from New York. I didn't know about that stuff. I just thought he was, from LA writing graffiti, Soon and Legit. And then I started, really seeing that LA had a graffiti culture. Back then, I used to see, Mr. 151 from Rockwood Street, I seen the LA Bomb Squad, I just knew that there was a culture piece to LA, and they called it graffiti.
Who first personally introduces you to graffiti? Is there someone who teaches you the unspoken rules?
No.
You just learned everything by sight, by looking, by seeing what's on the street?
By walking.
By walking.
I walked every street in LA. I mean, literally walked it from downtown to the beach.
At 13, you catch your first tag.
Mm-hmm.
Where was it, and what were you doing that day?
It had to be on the west side somewhere, you know. I used to go racking a lot because I needed something that was more than a jumbo marker from the grocery store. You know, I needed a real graffiti tool. You know, so I used to like look at, you know, different stationery stores and stuff, and I saw this big marker. It was a jumbo marker, but it was called a Pilot, and it came in 4 colors. So I racked all 4 colors, you know, and I'm like, you know, just writing and writing and writing, and I found out like, fuck, these don't last that long, you know, like, oh, I maybe have to refill ink. Like, what should I refill the ink with? And then I found marsh ink, you know, and I started like taking out the mesh of the marker and just flooding it with marsh ink, T-grade ink, you know, and then started writing graffiti. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff, like, you know, I just learned through experience and through traveling, you know, like going to different beaches with boogie boarding, riding on the RTDs, like, and I remember as I started like kind of evolving into like from like boogie board graffiti or surfer graffiti to actual graffiti, I would start to see people up on the bus, and I started noticing some of the same names on the bus, you know.